this name, Molecular Gastronomy, very important chapter in the culinary arts department. Okay, so what is a molecular gastronomy? Molecular gastronomy is a scientific process that explores physical and chemical processes involved in the food preparation. It involves manipulation of different processes, techniques to enhance the flavor, texture, presentations of food and its techniques. It also involves different techniques that gives the flavor, preparations and textures to different foods. Okay, so this is molecular gastronomy. It's a science of the molecules, science of food, which will enhance the texture, flavor and preparation of every food. So this molecular gastronomy was established, or the idea was given in the year 1988 by a Hungarian physicist, and one more physicist was there from Germany. So they given this idea of molecular gastronomy. Today I shall explain to you what is molecular gastronomy, how it involves with the modern culinary science. So how many students are interested in culinary arts? Please raise your hands. Those who are looking forward to build your career in the culinary arts department, raise your hands. Great. So even if you are studying hotel management, you should have this knowledge, okay? So what we do in our home, we use different techniques to prepare our dishes. Suppose in Bengal, we use macher jhol. In other parts of the states, we use different techniques. But we have to understand, or we have to think about those techniques which will give extra flavor, extra texture, extra presentation, that will give sensory perception to the guests or to the customers, those who are eating those foods. Clear? It involves several innovations. It involves several techniques which will give you proper presentation and proper texture. So today I shall discuss about these techniques which will keep the nutrition level of the foods intact without damaging the nutrition level of the food, without damaging the texture of the food, without damaging the flavor of the food. You can prepare various dishes. So the topic is how to use this technique in the modern culinary arts. Clear? See, basically what we eat matters, isn't it? Because nowadays there are several foods like junk foods, like quick or fast foods, you can say, which are surrounding in our market. Pizzas, burgers, which are full of salt, oil, fat, which are not healthy for our health or for our guts. So what we have to do, we have to eat healthy foods. We have to think about our own diet, because our food gives us strength, gives us energy, and definitely will keep us fit in the future days to come. So if we use several techniques in our cooking preparation that will enhance the nutrition level of the food, that will definitely help you. Suppose someone is staying in the 5-star hotel for 30 days and he is eating breakfast, he is eating lunch, dinner, everything, but he is not getting nutrition in his food. Then what will happen? After 1 month, he or she will become sick. Then he may blame the organization that after having your food from your restaurant, or after eating meals, I am getting sick, or my physical strength is decreasing. That should not happen. So what the chefs have to think, the nutrition of the food, what the guests are eating. Nowadays what we do, we prepare macher jhol in Bengali cuisine. In macher jhol, what we do, we fry the fish. See, fish is not a bad thing. We can definitely eat fish. But while we are preparing fish, we are frying it, we are adding enough oil while frying. After that again we are preparing masalas, adding much oil, salt, everything. That will enhance the taste maybe for a while, but that will damage the nutrition of the fish. So what if we can use several scientific process of cooking those fish items, meat items, vegetables, so that the nutrition of the food remain intact. So that is our objective to teach you, or that you should learn. So several techniques are there. So today I shall show you several techniques which will give you good idea about this molecular gastronomy. You will be happy to know that this year in our campus drive, a good number of students selected in the management trainee program in Taj Group of Hotels, in other parts of the hotels as well. And I have seen some of our chefs who undertook master classes, or some of our chefs who has given master classes, taught these techniques to our students as well. And ultimately the students were benefited by learning these techniques. So today, see, several techniques are there for using molecular gastronomy. These techniques are spherification. Okay, so I will tell you what is spherification. Have you seen caviar? What is a caviar? Can you please tell me? Sorry? Exactly. So you can prepare certain dishes which looks like caviar. So that process give the liquid a spherical shape is called spherification. Other processes are emulsification. I think you have heard this name, emulsification. Mixing two insoluble liquids in a stable form which are generally do not mix. Example, oil and water, oil and vinegar. Exactly. If you remember, we have prepared mayonnaise sauce, hollandaise sauce. To use, to prepare these sauces, we need to learn one technique which is called emulsification. That technique is also coming under molecular gastronomy. We have jellification. Have you heard this name, jellification? Jellification, if you heard this name, souffle, mango bavaroa, mousse, have you heard these names? So in souffle, we use this name, jellification. Have you heard this name, flash freezing? Flash freezing? Any idea about flash freezing? This is a technique used in molecular gastronomy to quickly freeze the surface layer of the food. It may be fruits, it may be meat items. So if you want to freeze those surface layers of the food by using liquid nitrogen, we use liquid nitrogen to freeze the food immediately. This is also called flash freezing. Apart from that, we have carbonation. Have you heard about this name, carbonation? This technique is used while preparing Coca-Cola, Sprite. You have to prepare gas inside a liquid by carbonating the sugar content. That is called carbonation. There are several techniques. So I would urge you, or I will urge everyone, you can use YouTube channels to learn more about these techniques. Even if we eat ice cream, so the process ice cream also uses one technique called molecular gastronomy. if you have seen, while the ice cream, vapor comes up from ice cream, what is that vapor? Have you seen? If the ice cream is in a freezed form, one vapor will come. So that vapor actually, the crystal is turning into vapor, and the food item is becoming dehydrated. So that process is also called dehydrating. So these techniques we use while preparing dishes, and these techniques are called molecular gastronomy. Okay, so slowly you have to learn these techniques to become a master chef, because nowadays the technologies are evolving. You have to think about new technologies. One more thing I am telling you, suppose you are boiling spinach. You will see, if you boil spinach for more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you will see the green color will go out. Have you seen it? So along with green color, several vitamins are also going out. And then you are preparing spinach item. After boiling it for 15-20 minutes, you are draining it, and then you are preparing with that spinach some items like palak paneer or whatever. But if you see, after boiling that one, you are draining those vital nutritions which are essential for your body. So mere boiling will decrease the nutrition level of the food. Because of this, in our food items, we use stock. Have you heard about this name, stock? So stock is very nutritious because the nutrition is remaining there. And you are drinking that stock, and you are using that stock to prepare gravies. In Chinese dishes also, if you have seen, stocks we use, or in continental dishes, we use stock to use gravies. So these techniques, slowly you have to learn while you are in the class, to use better techniques, better presentations, better flavor of your own dish, so that you can get an extra edge over your competitors. You got my point? If you learn little extra, your artistic dish will attract your chef to choose you for the selection in future. Otherwise what will happen if you prepare, suppose you are selected in a food trial. If you have seen, the general process of selection in the culinary department is initially maybe group discussion, there are elimination rounds, after that a PI round, and then what? At last, trade test is there. Everyone will be facing a trade test while appearing for the final interview to be selected in the culinary department. So during trade test, you have to prepare your own dish. Whatever you like, you have to prepare. So that time, if you use these techniques while preparing dishes, that will give you an extra edge. The chef will come to know that yes, this student has explored several dishes, have explored several technologies, and they should give you a fair chance of selection. Clear? So today I am just showing you several techniques. Later on I will tell you in detail. So first of all I am showing you what is spherification, how spherification can be done. I have collected a video, so I would request Vishwajit sir to play that video, if you can see. Spherification is a technique used in molecular gastronomy to prepare spheric-like balls in your dish. এখানে দিতে হবে নাকি ইন্টারনেট? Okay, you try it. In the meantime, I shall tell you something else. See, in which year all of you are? Second year. And then? First year. Great. So, how many students are studying for at least 2 hours daily for your own improvement? Raise your hands. Daily 2 hours. How many students are studying? Okay, great. So how many students are studying 1 hour daily? Please raise your hands. Daily 1 hour. Okay, great. How many students are studying 30 minutes daily? Raise your hands. Okay. So one thing I'd like to tell you, that going through your notes are also important. Okay. Whatever you are learning here, you should revise at your home. It's not that okay. I think we are ready with the video. Acha, carefully watch this spherification video, okay? How spherification are being done. Silence, please. revolution wine. So this is one technique of spherification, okay? So you can do one thing, you can go to the YouTube channel and you can search several verification techniques. So these are like small jelly balls which you can use after preparing it in different dishes to showcase your own preparation. Clear? So this is one process called spherification. If you search in the YouTube channel that how spherification techniques can be used, how dishes or recipes with spherification techniques can be used, you will find it in the YouTube channel, and you can see a good number of dishes. You can prepare it at home or you can explore your own. You can tell your teacher, sir, teach us one recipe which includes spherification. You got my point? Sir, मुझे कुछ spherification का recipe सिखाइए. You can tell your teachers. Sorry? Whenever you will be having, you can tell. It depends on the syllabus, definitely. Whenever in your syllabus there is a continental dish, you can tell yourself. You can urge your teachers, sir, please take us or please teach us this technique, spherification. What is spherification? How we can use this in our practical dishes. Clear? So next technique I will be showing you called jellification. Let me tell you one thing. One technique is there, sous vide. Have you heard this name, sous vide? Anybody? Sous vide is a technique has discovered which will keep the nutritional level of the food intact while you will be eating. If you are eating carrot, if you are eating fish, if you are eating meat, you will see that if you are cooking meat, what will happen? Ultimately you will see beside fiber, everything went away. Sara nikal gaya. Beside fiber, everything washed away. If you are boiling carrot, you will see all nutritions, vitamins, minerals gone into the water. And you are chewing only the fiber of the carrot. If you are frying a fish, again you will see the maximum nutrition will go away. So, watching all those things, those physicists and chemists from Hungary discovered one technique that can be used to preserve all its nutrition in the food. Without damaging the nutrition of the food, he discovered one cooking method. I think you have heard about several cooking methods like frying. In frying there are two, shallow frying, deep frying, like this. You have heard about boiling. You have heard about grilling, several techniques which are used in the food production department. So this is one of the latest techniques used by the modern culinary experts. And this technique preserves all its nutrition in the food. If you have seen, one chef is there, if you have seen in the YouTube video, that adds salt like this. Have you seen? Huh? So if you see, in his restaurant, several meat items are being served. He cut meats and he prepares meat items. And then in his restaurant, several celebrities like Maradona, Messi, like other football players went and they tasted their dish. So I have seen on those meat items, they are using that sous vide technique. And the meat, while presenting, I saw it's very tender and juicy, not that they are cutting the fiber part only. Meat items are very juicy, very nutritious, and several guests are enjoying the delicacy of the meat. So I have seen that sous vide technique is being used while preparing. So I am showing you this technique. Explore these techniques. I will tell you everyone that what are the new techniques are there, how it actually prepared in the culinary department, so that you can learn, you can explore, you can prepare in your own home as well, for you as well, not that you have to prepare for your guest. If you learn, if you can prepare for your own. Instead of eating malnutrition food, you can also eat healthy foods. So watch this sous vide technique. Light on. শুধু এটা বন্ধ করো।
Cooking techniques out there. So it was only a matter of time before this nerd dove on in. And what I found is that people seem to either love sous vide or really dislike it. So what's the actual science behind this polarizing cooking method? And which side is right? This is Minute Food. Since last year, I've been cooking my way through all the foods that the people who swear by sous vide swear by. And I'm going to tell you my take, but first I want to shed some light on what sous vide actually is and how it works. Technically, the term refers to a specific way of prepping food by vacuum sealing it, not how you cook the food afterwards. But when most people talk about sous vide, they're referring to a specific cooking method. Cooking sealed up food in water at a relatively low and very precise temperature for pretty long periods of time with the help of this thingamajig, an immersion circulator. So that's the process we're going to be talking about here. And as far as culinary techniques go, it is an outlier. See, most cooking methods use a higher temperature than what you actually want the food to reach, even the methods we often call low and slow. These pretty hot temps heat food up pretty quickly, so the reactions we're trying to achieve through cooking them, like killing off bacteria to make food safe and breaking down connective tissues and pectin to make food tender, all these processes happen within a pretty reasonable amount of time. But cooking at these relatively high temperatures means that as your food cooks, its temperature will basically continue to increase, which seems obvious. I mean, that's pretty much the point of cooking, right? But this is where sous vide makes its splash. It cooks at the precise temperature you want the food to end up at. So the food's temp will rise until it's as hot as the water. Then it'll just stay there. Assuming that temperature is high enough for those safening and tenderizing reactions to start happening in the first place, even if they happen super slowly at that temperature, given enough time, you can kill off just as many bacteria and break down tough compounds just as well as at higher heats, all while the food itself stays at whatever temperature you want. So you don't have to incinerate your chicken to the USDA-approved temperature of 165 Fahrenheit to make it safe to eat. Sous vide it for a few hours at 145, give it a quick sear, and you'll get chicken that's safe and moist. And while you'd normally cook a chuck roast until it's beyond well done to break down all its connective tissue, you can sous vide it at 135 for a whole day or so. And you can break down those tough tissues, but leave the meat medium. Or Or even rarer, sous vide can create transformative effects in veggies too. Give carrots a nice 183-degree bath and you'll break down their pectin, making them nice and tender, but not their cell walls, which keeps them from turning to mush. I could go on, but my point is that by cooking food at low, precisely controlled temperatures for extended periods of time, you can get effects that are difficult, if not impossible, to get with other higher heat cooking methods. That's one big benefit to sous vide. Of course, figuring out time and temperature combinations that'll produce delicious, safe food requires a decent amount of knowledge about how various reactions proceed. That's where the nitty-gritty science behind sous vide comes into play. Luckily, a lot of people have done a lot of thinking and research on this, so there are a lot of great resources to draw from. We'll link to some in the description. But there's another upside to sous vide, too. It is a total breeze. I mean, you basically set and forget this thing for hours or even days. The most work you have to do is at the end. Since you're cooking at temperatures too low for the Maillard reaction to occur, you'll generally want to sear food after you sous vide it. Then there's the fact that with sous vide, you're cooking the food at the very temperature at which you want it done. So it's basically impossible for it to overcook. There's a huge window of time in which the food is perfectly done. Compare that to the very narrow window between undercooked and overcooked with those higher heat cooking methods. So if it's absolutely imperative that you don't ruin that pricey cut of meat, sous vide might be the way to go. This is why a lot of restaurants rely on sous vide. It ensures that, say, a steak is cooked exactly how the customer wants it each time they come through the door. But how about me? Am I a sous vide convert? Well, no. I know, I just spent multiple minutes telling you all about what the weird science of sous vide can do for you. And that is all true. I mean, it definitely is easy. And it has enabled me to transform foods in interesting ways. But in a lot of cases, I don't actually think those transformations are an improvement over higher heat cooking. Some transformations have impressed me, but here is my biggest issue with sous vide. I really dislike the actual process, especially when it comes to meat. The whole thing, bagging up food in plastic, plunking it in water, letting the whole setup hum away for what seems like forever, then sliding a squishy gray blob out of the bag. It all feels weirdly like a science experiment. And while I'm the first to say that cooking is all about science, the sous vide process just kind of turns me off, especially compared to the much more appealing sensory experiences, the sizzles, the stirring, the smells of other cooking methods. With that said, I don't think sous vide is a blight on humanity. I'm really glad it's out there for the people who do love it. And my take is that those people probably fall into one of two camps, based on those big advantages we talked about earlier. If you're really into experimentation in the kitchen and love new food experiences, you'll probably enjoy the transformative power of sous vide. And if you're really into meal prep, or you want to serve a dozen perfectly cooked steaks at your weekly dinner parties, you'll probably enjoy the ease of sous vide. As for me, it's another tool in my repertoire that I'll probably use occasionally when I'm feeling particularly inspired or particularly busy. And if nothing else, an immersion circulator is great at defrosting frozen stuff and is a very convenient way to chill wine. And even the haters can't hate on that. This is our 25th Minute Food video. And you know what I'm most proud of about what we do? No, it's not the ridiculous number of obscure references we slip in, or the amazing comments we get from our awesome viewers. It's the fact that we're dedicated to making every single episode of Minute Food free to watch. We want everyone to be able to science their way to amazingly delicious food. The thing is, giving your workout for free is a terrible way to make a living. Sure, we get the occasional sponsorship and a fraction of a cent for every view, but that doesn't actually cover our costs. So if you appreciate what we do, consider joining our Patreon community and chipping in, even just a little bit, to make sure we can keep making Minute Food videos.
Okay, so this is sous vide process. Actually the process is you have to put the food in a airtight container, in a thick plastic bag, and then you have to cook it in a fixed temperature in water, just like boiling. But while boiling, what you are doing, you are keeping the food open without any covering. But here in sous vide, you are putting the food in a airtight plastic container and then you are boiling it in a fixed temperature. Maybe the time is 1 hour. Then what will happen? The juice of the meat will remain in the meat itself. It will not go out as the plastic container is airtight. Clear? Then you are boiling it and then you can grill it in a hot plate very quickly. Then the food will be very tender and then the guest will enjoy these delicious dishes. While previously what happened, directly they marinate the food and then they put it into the hot plate or in a griller. Then the juice will go away. But if you boil it first, keeping the juice intact in a plastic cover, in a plastic airtight cover, then the juice of the meat or any fruit or any vegetables will remain intact. Clear? This is the concept. Means if you are boiling anything, what will happen? The nutrition level will go out. If you are frying anything, then the nutrition may go out. So the best process is steaming, maybe sous vide, or the third one is boiling. So these are the basic processes which will keep the food healthy and flavorful. Okay. So the next process I'd like to show you jellification. Jellification. How jellification is done?
minutes matlab big basket. 10 minutes matlab big basket. Big basket, delivering in 10 minutes.
So this is one of the popular methods called jellification. So you can create jelly-like substances by using gelatin or agar-agar. Have you heard about these two names, gelatin, agar-agar? So you can use these items to prepare jelly-like substance and you can prepare several dishes. So if you prepare these dishes after practicing it in your home or in the kitchen or in our practical classes, definitely while you will be appearing for the campus drive, while you will be giving your presentation for food, the selection rate will be 99%. But you have to know how you are doing it. Because if you do something extra, or if you prepare something extra which the employer would like to see that yes, this student have the tenacity to learn something new, has the intention to explore something new, then definitely they will choose you. So you can see YouTube channels. I think you use Facebook, Instagram. So instead of using those things, use YouTube channels to learn several techniques, dishes, recipes, so that you can get an idea of these dishes. Okay, so next process I am showing you flash freezing. It's a process of quickly freezing the food, flash freezing.
Operation.
What's always in your bag? Juicy skin in a jar. Top hydration hack? Drink water, but also wear it.
So I get asked a lot, what freezes well? What doesn't freeze well? Just take a stroll down your store's aisles and see what they got going on in there, and you'll be surprised.
Operation. Make sure you're freezing your food as efficiently as possible. IQF, or individual quick freezing, will improve product quality and back-of-the-house efficiency. First, rinse your food and remove any stems, skins, or other undesirable parts. Separate food into individual pieces and place them on a large sheet pan. Remember to ensure that their edges don't touch to prevent sticking. Now set the sheet in the blast chiller, IQF freezer, or
Blast
regular
chiller.
freezer. Once frozen, remove the food from the sheet pan and place in a freezer-safe container or bag. Label your bag and store in the freezer until needed. This method allows you to remove a precise amount of food for recipes rather than defrosting in bulk. Perfect for yielding top-quality portions of fruits, vegetables, or meats. IQF is bound to boost your meal prep operation.
And the last one, you can see emulsification. Yes.
Oil and water emulsions are virtually impossible to form using an agitator. Even with an emulsification agent present, the solution will separate within seconds of the machine being switched off. A Silverson high shear mixer, however, produces an almost instantaneous stable emulsion with a typical droplet size of 2 to 5 microns. Finer emulsions down to 0.5 microns can be obtained, depending on the formulation.
Example, you can use machines. Now, as the last one is foaming. This one, yes. So thank you students for watching patiently. So any questions from your end? Anybody would like to ask any questions so that I can help you with? Anything you want to know about molecular gastronomy or anything about the art of cuisine? कोनो प्रश्न থাকলে বলো, हिंदी में भी पूछ सकती हो, कोई कुछ अगर क्वेश्चंस है तो। किसी भी भाषा में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हिंदी, बंगाली, इंग्लिश, एनी लैंग्वेज। Okay, no problem, but the thing is that you have to understand that you have to learn your subject. Okay, you have to study. You have to work hard to make yourself in a better position in the industry, because competition is there. Other students are also learning, you are also learning, but the thing is that if you want to get good positions, good jobs, at least 1 hour study is important for everyone, at least 1 hour study. And among other things, you should read newspaper as well. Start reading newspaper, especially economic times, if possible, for at least 1 hour. You have to understand the economy of the country. Even if you are thinking something else, that knowledge will give you an extra edge. How many students study Times of India or Economic Times? Please raise your hands. Anyone gone through today's newspaper? Okay. So, in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening, whenever you are getting time, read newspaper, at least one newspaper, or if you have time constraints, study Economic Times, because this is the time to learn. Okay, if you want to become a manager in any field, even if in the bank, in other industries, in the insurance sectors, anywhere, and if you want to flourish your career on that particular sector, two things are important. One is financial management and the other one is sales and marketing, apart from your basic skills. If you do not understand the business of one organization, you cannot succeed in life. It may be hotel industry, it may be hospitality industry, it may be tourism sector, anywhere you will work. See, all of you are studying to establish yourself in the future. You are spending some money. The reason is you want to grow in your life, isn't it? Objective तो ये होगा ना कि आगे जाके काम करना है. तो कहीं पे भी तुम काम करो, वो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगा. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. कहीं पे भी तुम काम करोगे वो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगा. तो उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में तुम्हारा सैलरी होगा. दे विल पे यू. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई दे शुड पे यू? So that you can contribute for that particular organization. हाँ, you have to contribute. तो तुमको अगर contribute करना है, if you want to contribute, you have to learn the mechanism of that particular organization. How to succeed, how to give them a good profit or how to give them customer, whatever. You have to think like a manager. You have to think like a manager. So if you think yourself like a manager, there are certain subjects, especially economics and sales and marketing you have to understand. Mind it very clear. You can say that college is not teaching me economics. You can say. But the truth is that if you have the intention to learn, you can learn. Because in economic times, if you study daily, after 3 months, you just come to me, you will understand 40% of the economy. You just see and check and then tell me, let me know. If you study 6 months daily, economic times, you will understand the entire economy, how India is doing, what are the profiteering businesses, which companies are there, who are working in India, what are the new emerging trends are coming. If you want to do your own business as well, that will also help you, because you will understand that India needs this business. If I do this business, I will be successful in the near future, because I have the entire knowledge of that particular thing. If you are not interested in technical fields, suppose I am not interested in cooking, no problem, but you have to be interested in economics or sales and marketing. If you are not interested in preparing something, in skill, you have to show your interest in other departments. That is managerial skill. And to be a manager, this is your learning stage. Remember. If you don't want to cook, if you don't want to serve, if you don't want to do housekeeping, if you don't want to front office, no problem. But you have to know economics and sales and marketing. And to know this, you have to learn economics. Nowadays, which businesses are emerging? Any idea? How India can grow in the near future? Any idea? How China is growing? Any idea? So to get an idea, you have to learn. Isn't it? You have to study. Why Coca-Cola is downgrading? You can check that before 10 years, Coca-Cola was an emerging business. A lot of people were eating Coca-Cola, thumbs up, but now it's downgrading. Isn't it? Their business is in downturn. But which liquids are emerging? Tell me. Which one? Why? Why? Have you ever thought about it? See, what recently happened, Mamata Banerjee opened one temple, I would say open, commercial, one temple in Digha, that is called Jagannath Temple. So, maybe some people will criticize, but the thing is that it will increase tourism in Digha, that's for sure. Isn't it? It will increase tourism in Digha. Hotel business will flourish in Digha. People will go to Digha. From Bengal, those who are unable to go to Orissa to see Jagannath temple or to pay devotion to the Jagannath temple, Jagannath deity, they will go to Digha. So, how you can contribute in the tourism sector, or how India can contribute in the tourism sector, that also you have to learn. The ways, why you are lacking behind. You have to learn this. Why Amazon is growing, why Blinkit, Zomato is growing, how they are doing business, what strategies they are applying. You have to know this clearly. Then you can become a successful manager. That is why I am telling you, don't do anything but read Economic Times or Times of India daily. at least for 1 hour. You have to understand the economy. There is no other way. Mind it. Very clear. If you understand the economy, just download Grow. Download Grow and then you can enter into the share market. You will understand that. I know some students do this in our college. So I saw recently one student was doing in the phone. So I said, what are you doing? Sir, Grow. Sir, कुछ कमाना है बीच में. So I think that he has some knowledge. To increase knowledge also, or to invest something, if you have 1 lakh and you want to put into the equity market, before putting it, you have to gather knowledge, which business is doing good, which are not. So for that also, why Taj Group is excelling in the hospitality industry. How many Taj hotels are there in Kolkata? Any idea? Raise your hands if you have any idea. Please, go ahead. Sorry? 3. What are they? What about Raj Kutir? What about Tal Kutir? So, please be seated. Thank you for venturing out. That's important. Please give a clap for him. He at least tried to say something. So, you have to know, see, you don't have any idea how many Taj properties are there in West Bengal. Is it a good thing? And you are studying hotel management. You have to know this. Do you know the Oberoi hotel is closed for last 6 months? Why? Why innovation is required now? Have you gone through this note? No idea. There is a huge reason behind this. There is a huge objective behind this. You have to know this. There was a clear statement or clear message, an article was there in Economic Times. You have to learn this. Why Taj Bengal is giving or doing more business than JW Marriott Kolkata? Any idea? But you have to learn this, you have to know. Why one business is giving profit and the other one is not giving? You have to learn this. You have to think like a manager. See, no other colleges will teach you these things. But I am trying to teach you that you have to study. There is no other way. Economics, sales and marketing, you have to study wherever you go. These 2 things are very important. Mind it. Whether you stay in the hotel industry or you go in the different industry, these 2 things are very important. If you do your business, these 2 things are very important. What are these 2 things? Economics and sales and marketing. Very important. Either you have to understand sales, how to grow your own business or how to grow others' business where you are working, or you have to understand the economy, how to grow, the strategies which the organizations are adopting. You have to learn from now. Otherwise you cannot succeed. If you want to be a labor, perfect. Do hard work. But if you want to be a smart guy, you have to understand economics. You have to understand why Taj Bengal is growing, why JW Marriott is not growing in Kolkata. Why the other hotels like HHI, how HHI is doing, what are their customer segments, whom they are targeting as a customer, what are the target customers of Hotel Holiday Inn Express, which is near airport, how they are targeting those customers. এগুলো বুঝতে হবে, বুঝতে গেলে পড়তে হবে. If you want to learn this, you have to study. যে কোনো বিজনেস, তোমাকে বিজনেসটাকে নিয়ে ভাবতে হবে, how they are doing business, why they are falling, why they are rising. Then only you can become a manager. Suppose you got a job in JW Marriott and you are in a role of F&B service in the F&B service department, maybe GSA. But if you have the knowledge that how to make this JW Marriott better than Taj Bengal, all of a sudden the knowledge will not create. Your hard work was there while you are on the college. You learned this, you thought about this. And if you give that idea, if you contribute, the general manager will upgrade your position quickly, so that you don't work in the F&B service department for long. Maybe for 6 months, 1 year is enough. Then you are going, because he understands that this person has the talent to improve the business. Let's put some other person there in place of him. वो तुमको ले लेगा ऊपर, यार तुम्हारा दिमाग है, तुम क्या ये सब करोगे, चलो. Because you gave an idea to him which will help the hotel to grow, the business to grow. That's important. You have to think like a manager. Do not think like a normal labor. So you have to work 3 things simultaneously. Your own subject, whatever the subject is, F&B service, food production, housekeeping, front office. College is teaching or not teaching, no problem. You have to study. Because your parents are giving money. Use library. Practical knowledge, not required. Theoretical knowledge is required at the entry level. Isn't it? I saw in all interviews, 99% was theory knowledge. Those who got management training, housekeeping, front office, any other F&B service, only theoretical knowledge. Nobody or not a single manager told them to show this in a practical way. No. Theory. We have ample books in the library. Go and study there if you want to flourish. Simple. What do you think? What the IITs are doing? They are in their college, they don't have proper infrastructure. And then after learning, they are becoming Google CEO. No. They are inborn genius. They are inborn genius. In college, they are upgrading their skills. ওরা ভালো ছেলে, ওরা যেখানেই যাবে ভালো হবে. You try to get my point. Hard work is important. 3টে জিনিস নিয়ে কাজ করো. একটা তোমার নিজের সাবজেক্ট, যেটা বললাম F&B, culinary, whatever. আর দুটো হচ্ছে সেলস অ্যান্ড মার্কেটিং. থিওরি নলেজটাকে বাড়িয়ে যাও. এবং এক একটা কোম্পানি নিয়ে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি স্টাডি করো. তাজ বেঙ্গল নিয়ে স্টাডি করো. একদম যে খারাপ অবস্থা, কিসের খারাপ অবস্থা বলো তো? কোন এডুকেশন সেক্টরের খারাপ অবস্থা বলো? বাইজুস খুব খারাপ অবস্থা না? কোন আইডিয়া আছে? বাইজুস কোভিডে কিভাবে ফ্লারিশ করলো? ফ্লারিশ করেছিল কি না? কোভিডের সময় বাইজুস কিভাবে ফ্লারিশ করলো? বাইজুসের কে সিইও কে? এনি আইডিয়া? রবিনন্দন বাইজুস ফ্লারিশ করলো কি না? কি মনে আছে? বাইজুস তখন দ্য হাইয়েস্ট প্রফিট এবং বাইজুস তোমার ইন্ডিয়ান ক্রিকেট টিমের স্পন্সর হয়ে গেছিল। এখন বাইজুস একদম গেছে, বেঁচে দেওয়ার মতো অবস্থা। কেন? তোমাকে স্টাডি করতে হবে। একটা কোম্পানি উঠছে পড়ে যাচ্ছে, কেন? স্টাডি করতে হবে। একটা কোম্পানি কন্টিনিউয়াসলি আপগ্রেড করছে, কেন? স্টাডি করতে হবে। অ্যাপেল ফোন কেন চায়নাতে ম্যানুফ্যাকচার হচ্ছে, কেন ইন্ডিয়াতে ম্যানুফ্যাকচার হচ্ছে না, এখন কেন ম্যানুফ্যাকচার হচ্ছে, ট্রাম্প কি ট্যারিফ সিস্টেম আনছে সেই জন্য আসার চেষ্টা করছে, তাই জানতে হবে। বিজনেস শিখতে হবে তোমাকে, বিজনেস প্রোডাক্ট নিয়ে কোন কোম্পানি কিভাবে বিজনেস করছে, কিভাবে ফ্লারিশ করছে, এবং শিখতে হবে বেশি যারা ফেলিওর তাদের থেকেও, কোন কোম্পানিগুলো ফেল করলো এবং কেন ফেল করলো। তাহলেই কিন্তু জীবন উন্নতি করবে, নাহলে কিন্তু হবে না, আমি বলে দিলাম। নিজের ইচ্ছাটা থাকতে হবে যে আমি জানবো, আমি ইকোনমিক্স বুঝবো। ইকোনমিক্স ছাড়া কিচ্ছু নেই পৃথিবীতে, সব কিছু ইকোনমিক্স। বুঝে নাও, সব কিছু ইকোনমিক্স, সাপ্লাই চেন, এগুলো হচ্ছে মেন। সেলস অ্যান্ড মার্কেটিং ইকোনমিক্স। তোমাকে প্রোডাক্ট যারা এখানে তৈরি করছে, ধরো একটা পেন কোম্পানি, পেন, রোটাম্যাক, হোয়াট এভার, যারা এখানে প্রচুর লেবার আছে যারা পেন তৈরি করছে, তুমি একটা এমন মার্কেটিং স্ট্র্যাটেজি চালু করলে যে ওই পেনের সেল তুমি সারা ইন্ডিয়াতে ছড়িয়ে দিয়ে ওয়ার্ল্ডে এক্সপোর্ট করে দিলে সাংঘাতিকভাবে, বুঝতে পেরে যে কিসের ডিম্যান্ড বেশি সেভাবে প্রোডাক্ট তৈরি করে। কার দাম বেশি, ওই লেবারে না তোমার? কার দাম বেশি বলো? যে ওই পেনটাকে সারা পৃথিবীতে ছড়িয়ে দিল। তো সেই চিন্তাটা করো, সেই জন্য একটা কোম্পানির ড্রব্যাক এগুলো নিয়ে ভাবতে হবে। ইউ হ্যাভ টু থিঙ্ক, দেন অনলি ইউ ক্যান বিকাম এ সাকসেসফুল ম্যানেজার। কোম্পানিগুলো নিয়ে স্টাডি করো, think about those companies who are rising, who are falling, and what is the reason for their fall. এটা নিয়ে ভাবো বড় হতে গেলে। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।